Ladies and gentlemen, guests, colleagues and friends, my goodness me, have we got something in store for you today. Part of our getting to know people behind the position and also ladies in logistics, we've got Jennifer Matasy. Is that right?
No, sir.
You'll correct me shortly.
Yes.
Okay, that's 1-0 to you. We'll sort that one out afterwards. Now, Jennifer is the marketing director for JBT, and we'll go into that a little bit shortly. And she also won a very, very special certification, which I've got down to reference later on. So we'll also get into that. But there is a very strange thing about Jennifer, and that's her husband's name, and we'll also come to that later on as well. So firstly, Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on. Can I ask you, and a question I ask everybody, why did you agree to come on the podcast?
Parveen is wonderful, and she really touched my heart when I met her for the first time, and being able to work with her has just been amazing, and I wanted to return the favor for how great she's been towards JBT. Okay,
well, I think we'll take that silent, won't we? Yeah, that's not bad. Good endorsement for your sister. Right, Jennifer, now, one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to encourage the next generation and youngsters to come into this business and to make it a little bit more exciting and something that they think would be interested. Now, one of the things that attracts people into anything is the people that are already there. So that's why we've got you on. So now, how did you get into this business?
Well, from my father, actually. He worked at United Airlines, and I actually wanted to be a veterinarian. And he said, have you ever thought about the airline industry? And as a woman, I never really did. It wasn't something I thought about. I loved animals, and it was something that I was passionate about. And he said, well, I would like for you to meet an airline pilot that I had met, and his name was Crew Kruger. And he said...
His name was what, sorry?
Crew Kruger.
Crew Kruger.
Yes. And he said... I would love for you to sit down with him and kind of open your eyes to something different. So I did, and Crew Kruger is a very large gentleman and bald, and we sat down and he told me how important it is to really have women in aviation. And
Good on your crew.
Yeah, I took that to heart and was like, this is something that a woman can actually do. And I actually started out wanting to fly based on his recommendations and him telling me that a woman can be in a cockpit and that it's okay. And, we're just as good, or in my opinion, better than men behind the cockpit. We know how to handle a lot of pressure. So I actually took up flying lessons after speaking with him, and him greeting me and welcoming me a part of United. I got a job with them, and I learned how to fly out of Denver, Colorado. My first airplane I flew was a Traveler, which is a twin-engine airplane. And when I got up in that airplane, I was not very happy with Crew Kruger and thought women could not do this, because as I was coming down on final to land, I overheated. And the instructor told me that I actually had this. And I'm like, but I don't. I'm overheating. And
sorry, you or the plane?
I was personally overheating. And I ended up throwing up in the airplane on final approach to come in to land. So okay. I had this, what they call a sectional, which is what pilots use to learn to fly. And I was like, I walked out of the airplane and he patted me on the back and he goes, you've got this. And after that moment with meeting with crew, and I ended up getting a job at United Airlines and flying this large airplane called a Traveler, you know what? I was like, I can do this. And so I went to school to learn how to fly. And I graduated with a degree in aviation technology from Metro State College in Denver, Colorado.
Fantastic.
Yes. And I am a licensed pilot myself. And so I love the industry, and I really have a passion for it. And I have a passion to see young people. And I do believe it is the people that is behind it. And if people love their job and they're excited about it, no matter what outside interference you have, whether it's, you had a bad day with your kids or your spouse, but if you come to work excited, it really makes everybody else excited too, even if they've had a bad day. And I think that when people see that excitement, and my husband calls me overly excitable, and I am, because I love what I do, and it's hard not to be. This industry is amazing, and it's got such amazing people in it that have so much passion as well. And I just love to see that, and I just love what I do.
And you still fly now?
I do, yes.
But you don't get sick?
No, not anymore. I overcame that. Yes.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that one.
Yes.
Okay, no, but seriously, it is lovely to come in. And what you said there about people loving to come to work, all of us, we work to live. We don't live to work.
That's right.
But if people appreciate how important it is to enjoy what you're doing and to have a purpose behind it, it makes it so much better.
It does.
And the people that you're talking about, the ones who come in and you see them, they've always got a smile on their face. Nothing's too much. They're always happy to do their job. You need them everywhere.
Every day.
And it's fantastic. And that's what we want to bring in more, whether they're ladies or men or whatever.
Absolutely.
And what I was telling you earlier about, I was on a diversity panel at a conference a couple of weeks ago. And I think the big thing is people should see people as persons when it's to do with career. And there's a time for a lady, there's a time for a man, but when somebody's going for a job, it's a person, and whoever's best, then that's what they should do. And do you feel that everything has been open to you and fair?
I do, and I feel the same way. I feel it's not the color of your skin.
No, exactly.
It's not the person. It's not if you're a male or a female, and it's not how you identify yourself, but you know that you do the job and you do it with heart and passion, because that's really, what we need. And it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody can have heart and passion, and if they do have that, they thrive.
Yep.
If your boss gives you that, you thrive. And so I feel it's very important to just be who you are, and it doesn't matter who you are. So I have not felt that as a woman that's held me back from anything that I've ever done that I've wanted to do.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And like you said, and also if people know why they're doing something, it makes it a lot easier to keep doing it and how important it is. Now, how did you get into the company that you're in now? So obviously we know it's covering gate equipment, ground support equipment, you've got data management, airport services. You're stronger together.
We
and
are.
And you joined, Electro has just come into the family. So
they have.
How did you get into this particular company itself? And how long have you been with them?
So I have only been with JBT for 2 months. I'm celebrating my 2 months this week on the 12th. And it's actually connections. And I feel very strongly about that. It's the people that you connect with. And I met one of the sales representatives in Panama, and he valued what I did and saw my work and really wanted to bring me a part of the JBT family with the Stronger Together. And so I have been very blessed to be a part of that community and helping them grow. Our portfolio is very large. JBT covers a lot of ground support equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
We have de-icers, we have tractors, we have cargo loaders. We also have a division in Ogden, Utah that is a part of our family that does passenger boarding bridges, does ground power units, and also does preconditioned air. We also, with Electro, they're in Warrenton, Oregon, and they're doing the tow barless tractors as well. So they're a part of our family too, that we're just boothing together, and it's really great. It's great to have them a part of us.
Oh, yeah. It really is a wide range.
Yes.
You mentioned the GPUs. Have you found, or with data in the industry, how many of them are actually catching fire or overheating?
I haven't. I have not done that research, actually. So that's a very good question.
Because I was talking to somebody here about fire suppression and about putting suppression units, especially in GPUs.
Really?
I just wondered if you had any...
Yeah, I had not in my past life, or I've not experienced that.
And yours are all good?
Yes, they are.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Now, can I ask you another thing now? As far as training,
yes,
and just coaching youngsters, how important is that within your company at the moment?
It's very important. We have internships positions available, and I personally, in my department, will also be having 2 internships available to have me mentor them and the next young generation, and how important marketing really is for our branding, and that it really is the first thing that people see when they are looking at companies. Color is things, your product pictures, your story. People want to know your story.
That's it.
And it's so important to know that story. And so I am very happy to have 2 interns that will be coming on board to be mentored by me. I feel like I have a lot to offer somebody young and that wants to come up in this career, especially in the aviation world, because it's exciting. I absolutely love it. And I love getting to work around the airplanes and the airports, and I love talking to our customers and what they love about our product and hearing their story, because their story is just as important as the story I'm telling about our company and how important it is that JBT reaches our customers. And especially personally, I like to build those personal connections with our customers at JBT, and that they know when they come to our booth that, you know, there's a smile, they're greeted with a smile, and that we have time to listen to whether their complaints or their praises, that, you know, we make that at that moment, they're the most important thing, and that their story is what we're capturing so we can do better at JBT.
That's great.
Yes.
I'm impressed.
Are you?
I think that's fantastic.
I love what I do.
No, you do. It comes across.
Yes.
Really, it comes across.
I really do. I'm very, very blessed.
Yeah. And what about this certification or this award that you got?
Oh, our good-looking sales representatives that we have there at JBT, best in the industry. Yes, no, we're very fortunate. We have absolutely amazing, great sales force at JBT. They actually have a lot of passion for what they do as well, and they are very knowledgeable about our product. They all are very dedicated to come in 2 days or a couple of days early. I shouldn't say 2 days, not all of them did, but we had a great training session yesterday that they had the commitment and the drive to come in and learn about these value propositions that JBT puts so much time in to go over all of our products. And we have 11 products at our booths this year at Inter Airport, and we're very proud of each and every one of them. And we spent time with our team that we flew in from all over the world. We've got people here from Singapore and Dubai, States, all over Europe to represent JBT, because we are a global company. And they came in and went over these value propositions, equipment by equipment. And that was so key to who we are and if our sales force has that passion and that love for our equipment and they have a good understanding, our customers will too. Yeah. So we really value our value propositions of easy to operate, easy to maintain, and great reliability for all of our products.
Okay, and it's also to keep things simple, repeatable, sustainable.
Exactly.
Okay, Jennifer, something that we were talking about earlier, and I've got to bring it up again. My goodness me, what a name your husband's got. And I'm going to repeat it, okay? I've got to say it because I just love it. Theodore Harold Spitzmiller III.
Yes, sir.
My goodness me, where did he get that from?
It's a mouthful, I know. Yes. His favorite aunt in the whole wide world, she didn't like it much, so she decided to call him TJ for short.
Yeah, but he must have been one of three things: either a great fighter, very good looking, or a multi-millionaire.
Sorry, honey, neither one.
No, I'm sure he did.
I do love you very much, but yes, no.
No, but what a fantastic name.
Yeah, I told him he should be proud of it.
Name.
I call him Theodore all the time.
Theodore III.
Yes, but we do have a running joke in the family. When I introduce myself to people, I always introduce myself as Jennifer until I get to know you, then it's Jen. And he's always liked the name Jennifer, so he never calls me Jen. So I decided, well, fine. I won't call you TJ. I'll call you Theodore Harold Spitzmiller III, because that's your name.
So, fair play to you. I bet he loves that one.
Yes.
I bet he does. Now, you're very passionate about marketing, and it comes across very clear.
Yes, I am.
So branding, DNA, change, and I take it the company that you're working for is constantly going through a change program.
We are, yes.
And especially, we were talking earlier about the value of colours and the vision, and with Lectro being such a contrast to the blues of JBT.
Yes.
How does that fit in with you? What do you think? What's the message there? And obviously, the stronger together is very, very key.
It is, and we want to make sure that the companies that we bring on to our JBT family, that they feel a part of our team, and we feel that by branding the stronger together, we really are stronger together. Because as separate, there's things that they're missing in the industry, or aspects of the world, since we're global, that they're missing. But really and truly, the stronger together does bind us. And with the electro color, it really pops. It's very vibrant. It's very new for JBT, but it catches your eye, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
I mean, when you look at that and you're looking at that whole data sheet that I've given you, the first thing that pops out is really
straight away.
that red color and that electro, and you really want to know more about it and what this does. And that's what's so great about that color. So I've been working in the last 2 months with getting acclimated to the new team and working with electro is really how to incorporate that. And we're doing a good job. We on their new business cards that they've got, electro stands out still in red because we really want to still identify electro as that. That really is who they are, and that color and that red, as bold as it is really identifies them.
Oh, it does,
and to take that away from them and strip that identity, you can't do that.
No.
That is who they are, and that's in their blood. And we need to recognize that as JBT, and we do. So we make sure that when we do our roll-ups and our data sheets, that we still keep that identity and that brand for electro because it's so important for us.
And I think it's important for the people that come across as well.
It is.
Makes them feel special.
Because nothing's changed. They're now a part of a bigger JBT family. And they have a huge, their customers know them as that red.
And was that a conscious effort, the company? Because obviously it focuses there about electric and emissions free. I mean, that's a big thing for you now.
It was, yes. Yeah? Absolutely.
And has that made everything change more?
It just, it brings more into our portfolio as JBT and what we can offer to our customers. And so that instead of going somewhere else to get something, we now have a bigger portfolio to say, JBT can help you with all of your ground support needs. And, it's a one-stop shop. You come to us and we'll help solve the problem. And that's really what we want to do.
And also the no tow bars.
Yes.
I mean, that cuts down an awful lot of work, and also, I know you need less people as well, but it's safer.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
For lots of people now, what we've been saying is if you just draw a picture of an airplane on a stand, and then you look at every single thing that goes on around it, it's an incredible business, isn't it?
It really is.
From cargo to catering, passengers to fueling, de-icing, tow bars, everything. It's incredible.
Everything. Yeah. It really, when you look out your airplane window and you're sitting there as a passenger and you see all these people moving around, there's a lot of infrastructure in place to make that one plane that perfect turn, which is really what JBT is about, is the perfect turn.
The perfect turn.
And we really want to make that seamless for the passengers and the crew and the ground support, the ground handlers as well.
Yeah, no, but it's amazing. And the other thing as well is, for anybody that does get into it, and if you take the whole picture, everywhere an aeroplane lands, you've got exactly the same businesses or associated partnerships all around the world.
All around the world.
So it's a global business you can go to. And you mentioned about all the areas that your company is represented. When you have your discussions, they're all pretty much the same.
Yes.
It's good, huh?
It is very good. I love it. It's wonderful.
Why do you think people don't sit in classrooms or at college and think to themselves, that's what I want to go into? We don't really sell ourselves that well, do we?
Well, I think they're breaking through with having the STEM program. I think that is, I don't know if they have it over here in Europe, but it's the science, the technology, the engineering, and the mathematics.
Yeah.
And it's really booming in our schools with the younger kids. And I think it's key that they bring in guest speakers and that they bring in people that really know the subjects so that the kids can get it firsthand and that the youngsters can really understand the passion that somebody has for their job, no matter what age. I mean, even at 42, I still love what I do and I still have a passion and I'm still
You didn't have to divulge that, by the way.
Still excited about it. And but they need to hear that and they need to know that, you work and it's not just working, but you love it. And I think if they see it firsthand and they see the excitement that people have in their jobs and they get to have that interaction and get to ask those questions that are kind of in the back of their head, like, why would I want to do this? This is impossible. They hear it from somebody. I think it helps ease that stress.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, talking about stress, you've just brought that up nicely. How do you de-stress? What do you do in your spare time?
My husband and I are both pilots.
Oh.
Yes, we both are. He is an instructor. I'm not that smart. So him and I actually, and I do have 2 children as well. And we like to fly. We're from Florida, originally Colorado, and we do like to fly around. Our recent trip we actually went from Sarasota, Bradenton to up all the way to Houston, Texas. So we just went right around the coast. We stopped in Louisiana. We stopped in Dallas, and we dropped off an airplane to a customer in Houston, and it was amazing. So we really enjoy doing that in our spare time.
And you took the kids with you as well?
That one we did not, but they have gone on several trips with us in small airplanes.
What a lovely trip, huh?
It was fascinating, yes. So it's nice to be above it all. You know, when you fly, there's just something about it that is free, and it just clears your head, and you just look down on the world and everybody's problems, and all of a sudden, everything just goes away. It doesn't matter. It just...
Until you get sick.
Right, until you get sick. Yes.
Yeah,
but it's just just so free to be up there and be a part of a different world.
It's amazing, though, isn't it?
It is.
I had one chance once, a friend, he had a Bonanza.
Oh, I love Bonanzas.
And he let me take it off.
Yes.
And then he let me bank it and everything. And it was, you're getting, but I was so tense. And he said,
because you wanted to do it right, didn't you?
And he said, just let it go, just be free. And when you do that bank and back, you go, oh dear. But it must be incredible.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. Yeah.
Did he let you land too?
He asked me, did I want to? I said, no, thank you. So I want to. That I didn't do.
Yeah.
But I always remember that Bonanza.
Bonanza's a great
fantastic
airplane.
experience. Yeah. He was an ex. He was in Vietnam. He was a helicopter pilot.
That's
and
some really
loved it.
cool flying.
Yeah. And he used to tell the stories. He came down twice when he was there, yeah. So he said, and he told us about the training for, I don't know, about spinning it or something.
Oh, my God.
But he was a very clever man. So you felt, do you know what I mean? You felt safe.
Yeah.
And if somebody's made a mistake and lived through it and learnt from it, you feel even safer.
Absolutely.
Now, do you believe in that?
Yes.
Mistakes, and you let people make mistakes?
You have to. That's the only way. We're all human, are we not?
Yeah, we are indeed.
We are not. We're not perfect in any way. And so you learn, you take corrective criticism. That's how you grow. That's how you become a better person. And, Yeah.
And what would you say has been the biggest learning curves or experience that you've had in your career?
I think taking on new challenges, and just, I don't think anybody should pass up on opportunities in a job in their career. And I think with taking new opportunities brings on new challenges. And so I've always kind of leaned towards that, is taking new opportunities.
And even if they don't work out, keep trying.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, I agree with you. And sometimes it takes a little bit of a knockback to make you realise what you've already got, and then why you want to do something else as well.
Exactly.
And again, that's also good for youngsters. Now, social media.
Yes, sir.
Good or bad?
There's pros and cons to everything, isn't there?
But in the business?
In the business, it can go either way. We have, my opinion is that we have a group of people that still aren't very social media savvy, and those are the generation that will be retiring, but they're not there yet. And so from a marketing standpoint, you still need to be able to reach that demographics.
Yep.
And they still like their magazines, their monthly publications. They still want to be able to read something tangible. But then we've got the new group that's coming up, and social media is very a part of their world and who they are, and they don't know any different. And the way that they get their news, the way that they connect with the world, especially since it's global, social media is the only way you can reach that group of people. And so as companies, it's very important that we do reach both platforms, because you don't want to lose the interest with the young people that are wanting to find a career, that the only way that they might know that company exists is through social media. That, before they go on a job interview or before they apply for a job, they want to know how you're connected to them. And if they see the people and the faces, and here again, we come back to that story. And if they see those stories and they like what they see, they're likely to apply and want to come work for your company. Yep. Where somebody that's older, that's not really how they are used to finding jobs or what they want to do. So they'll look through it in a publication. I am very fond. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm very fond of social media. I think it's very, there's a lot of good that comes out of that people get a lot of information quickly, and that's what people really desire nowadays, is they want that instant gratification where they're like, I want it now. And social media helps with that. It can be bad as well, because again, you still have that instant gratification, but I do feel it's important to reach both platforms.
And what about one of the things I feel very strongly about is there's so many good people just dropping out of the business, and all that experience and that knowledge, it just goes with them.
It does.
And if they're not treated in a certain way, it's almost like there's a little bit of bitterness sometimes when these people drop off. Yeah. And I just think it would be so lovely to bridge, you know, those coming in who want to do well with those going out who are happy to pass on the information. Yeah. And if we could develop something in between, I just think it would be a mix made in heaven.
Yeah, it would.
Is there any chance? I mean, do you guys look at the people that are leaving the industry or leaving your company?
Well, they have so much tribal knowledge, don't they?
Yeah,
exactly. They leave with that, and you're like, wait, don't go yet. And then you bring them back as contractors because you still need that information
how
from.
How crazy is that?
Yes.
Contractors or consultants?
Yes, because you still need that tribal knowledge that they've had for so long.
Yeah.
And it takes so long to get that out of them because they've worked on that customer and they know the history and the change and the the people and the connections that they have, so you've got to draw that out of there. And I think that JBT does do a good job with that we've got some guys that are getting ready to retire, and we've got enough time where we're able to sit with the young people and start mentoring them and letting them start picking their brains with that tribal knowledge. We're not going to get it all at one time, of course, but we can at least start early enough that we can start jotting things down and making, and traveling with them. I mean, even traveling to other countries, some of them don't know this because they've never done it before. So it's important that they get the lay of the land and they know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and I think it's great. It's great for both.
Yes.
And then even the person who's leaving to say, I've left this company, I've been there for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but they valued my knowledge, my experience, etc.
Absolutely.
I think that's I think that's absolutely fantastic.
It is.
Now, if I was to ask Theodore,
yes.
Okay, what would he like to change about you?
Oh boy.
What would it be?
What would it be? I don't know. He keeps saying that him and I are very similar. So
we fly together.
If I take a trait away from me, I might strip him of the same trait. But he says, maybe I talk too much. Maybe I need to listen more and talk less.
You think that's what he'd say?
I think so, because I like to talk a lot.
No.
I do.
Seriously?
Yeah, sorry. I have a lot to say, I guess.
And if I was also to ask him to say, Theodore, what is the song that would have Jennifer up no matter where she was, how she felt? What would that song be?
It would be a Carrie Underwood song, Champion.
Oh, blimey, that's appropriate, isn't it?
Yes.
How does it go?
Oh, you don't want me to sing it
to
you?
Yeah.
No. That is embarrassing. We could YouTube it. We can listen to it that way.
No, why not?
Oh, my gosh. No, I can't think of it in my head now because now I'm on the spot. So now I'm like, oh, boy, now I am going to have to YouTube.
I think the word champion, that fits in nicely.
Yeah. So that's really kind of...
So that, and now, like when you got down here, we were talking about you flying. You also tennis and swimming, yeah?
Yes.
Do you play good tennis?
I do. We play it as a family as well. My husband's really good. The kids love it. So it's kind of
That's a nice thing to do. Yeah.
It is very nice. Yeah, I do enjoy doing that because you need to
nice.
unwind. I mean, when you've got all this, you do have pressure at work. It doesn't matter. You've got a lot of stresses and bosses and people that you have to report to and expectations. And so when you go home with your family, you want to be able to just unwind and that's what we do. We enjoy doing that together.
Ah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, getting back to the values.
Yes.
Okay, and the company.
Yes.
What's your most successful product?
Oh, what is our most successful product? Well, being new on the team, I'm not sure. So I would. This is terrible. We have a lot of electric products. Those are very popular. Those are coming up.
Okay, and obviously because of the emission-free and the environment and everything that's going on.
Yes, and our de-icers, our Tempest dye is very popular as well, especially this time of year. We're getting ready to ramp up into de-icing season, so our Tempest dye is very popular.
And which airports do you service?
All over.
Yeah?
Yeah, we do. If there's snow on the ground, you will see a Tempest dye from JBT.
And it's amazing, like Solomon's the same. Whenever, like from Britain, whenever we go somewhere and we see extreme heats, I live in Saudi, so I see the heat, and everybody gets on with things.
Yes.
And then when you go to some of the real cold areas, and I was go to Banff and places like that, and you think, how on earth can they clear these roads so quickly? Nobody fusses.
Right.
And it's and some of the way the airports are cleaned up so quickly. I think
know.
that's another thing. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing.
And those people out there doing that all times of the day and night.
In all weather, like you said, all weather conditions.
Yeah.
And these ground handlers, some of their, their pay isn't so well, and their employment, I mean, there's, so you feel bad. So you want to make products that they easy to drive, like our tractors. I got in this B250 tractor, and they're like, Jen, it's easy to drive. It's like driving a car. And I'm like, are you sure about that? Because if you ask my husband, I've wrecked some cars. So I'm like, are you sure and they're like, no, we have this nice, lovely ring of steel around our B250. It's, if you wreck this, there's some problems. So I got in it with my stature, and I started that B250 up, and off I went. And it's got heat in it and air conditioning. So it makes it comfortable for the ground handlers when they're going from an extreme environment, whether it's heat or cold, and into a cabin where at least it's comfortable for them, and the interior is nice and roomy, and then it does drive like a car. So when they don't feel intimidated getting into something this is really big, and then they've got this big airplane behind them that they're worried about, and at least they can say, you know what, here's the gas pedal, here's the brake, I can do this, and I can get in these big tractors, and I can drive it, and that's the way with any of our product line, and it is very, very easy to drive.
No, I think that's important, and it's important to recognise everybody who works, and like you said, some of the conditions, and they do a great job.
They do. They absolutely do. And JBT wants to be a part of helping them with that as well.
No, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And where do you think, or where do you think, or what would you like to be doing in 5 years' time?
I want to still be doing the same job, and I still want to have a big smile on my face and just enjoy and love what I do, and introduce new products to the market that, our ground handlers need, and our airlines and our airports. And I just want to be there to support our customers.
And we're talking about customers now. Do you, obviously you have key accounts, and you have customer forums or customer clinics?
We do. We had an open house in February in Orlando that we introduced our electric Ranger at, and it was very well received. We had a great turnout, and people loved it. And so we have it here this week at Inter Airport at our booth. So we'd love for people to stop by and see it.
Okay. And do people appreciate the technical side of it, or the ease of use? What's the main thing that satisfies them?
It depends who you're talking to. If we're talking to the ground handlers, they want the easy to use. And like the way we've designed like our tractors and our de-icers is everything is right there. So when you get into the equipment, if you have to change a filter or do the hydraulic fluids, everything is accessible that even I could get up and do it. You just open up the tabs, pop it open, and you can see everything right there. You can see all the hydraulics, you can see all the filters and each of the different equipment. So it's not, you don't have to crawl into the equipment, you don't have to get really dirty.
Yeah.
So it makes it really easy for the operator, when there's something there. And we have a really cool thing called IOPS as well. And it's like a GPS on our system where it tracks where all the equipment is at. So for management, that's really nice, because then they can track, that, the B250 is over at gate, B360, and we need it over at A, they wouldn't ever cross it over to another terminal, but we need it further down at another gate. There's this tracking device on it, so they're able to actually locate where all their ground support equipment that they spend money on, where it's at. So it's really, IOPS is really, really cool, and what we can do with that, and how we can help our customers and the management, especially know where their equipment is at.
And you have a preventive maintenance program that you support all the customers with?
We do. It's called ProCare, and we have a great team that supports that. And they really put their heart and soul into that, because our customers do come first, and we want to make sure that, they don't have minimal downtime. That's really key to this industry, because if they don't have minimal downtime, the airlines, their passenger delays, missed flights, and we don't want to see that, and we don't want to be the root of that. So we definitely want to make sure that we keep up our end of the bargain,
and that you care.
And we do care. We do.
Which is fantastic.
Yes.
Now, do you keep KPIs and dashboard results with regards to the statistics and the standards that you provide?
I do believe our team does that. I haven't gotten into that piece of it yet, but I do believe that there is a way of doing that. Yes.
Okay, and that they verify and validate that their ProCare program is being used effectively.
Yes, and we do have field servicemen and women that go out and check on that as well for them.
Okay, it's huge. And I know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to find a statistic that you don't have at the moment, but as far as numbers of customers, numbers of airports, numbers of countries, how many are you actually in?
We are global, but I don't have that. Is terrible, and I should have that number.
No.
I'm so sorry. I do not have that number, but we are a global company. We do have a factory in Orlando, and we produce a lot of our big equipment out of there. And we do have the factory in Madrid, Spain, as well.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. I went and just recently visited that, and that was...
What a lovely place. I used to live there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, just over 6 years. Best period of my family's life. We had such a good time.
Fascinating city.
Brilliant.
Oh, it was...
It's beautiful.
I was so blessed by my boss, Lee Kuhn, to let me visit our factory and meet with our international sales team before coming here to...
But that's important. Now you know so much about it and you feel even better.
Yes, I feel connected to the culture because I ate the food, I walked the city, I saw the factory, and I connected with our sales team, and it was just lovely. It really was.
Yeah, so Lee did a good job there, letting you go there.
He did, and he did it on my birthday, which was nice too. So I thanked him for that. So yes.
Fair play to him. Now, let me ask you another question. How many ladies are in your business?
Oh, it's a very small number. In the marketing side, or
no, in general.
It's very small. Women are, it's a very small number.
So you're spearheading that move, that drive.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yes, I would love to be.
I think you'll give a very, very, very positive example, I would imagine.
Well, thank you very much.
Really, really. Now, what parts of the industry, so whether it's an airport or whether it's the GHAs, what parts of the industry do you think need to modernise? So which areas that you interface with, I don't mean for this now to be a touchy answer. I'm not looking for any criticism or whatever, but in all the partnerships that you've got on the airports, etc., what areas do you think need to modernise a little bit more?
I would definitely say on the ground handling side. I mean, as much as we're providing this technology, it's modern, it's new. We have electric equipment at JBT that we offer, a beautiful platform of electric equipment that we have. I really feel like the ground handling is lacking. The turnover is huge, the pay is less, the weather conditions, and the people don't have the skill set, the resources, the training that they really need to use this equipment, because it's such powerful equipment and it can do so much and it offers so much. Our platform offers so much, but that team, that group of people, they just don't get what they need. And it's not JBT at all. We provide amazing and wonderful equipment for them, but it's the end user that they're not getting what, they're not providing to their employees what they really need. Yeah. And that's a shame, because this equipment, it's not cheap. They do spend a lot of money, these companies, to get the right equipment in place for these people in these airlines and airports. And it's really sad to say, but it is lacking. Yeah, no, it's a bit of a perverse situation, because, like you said, you've got so much expensive equipment, especially from the aircraft down. Yes. And then, when people go through tough times, you don't have the training, and it's the people that count. It is. And I think it's like you mentioned about the turnover, and to have that sort of turnover is a terrible thing, but it also makes people not want to train them, because they're of the opinion that if I train them, they'll leave and go somewhere else. That's exactly it. But it's worse if you don't train them, because they'll stay with you. And you have to invest in people. You do. And unfortunately, I don't feel like the ground handling aspect of it does not. Yeah. No, I think the whole industry needs to take a little step back and realise that if they want to make things more efficient, and especially with the technology improvements, you need to really start investing in people a little bit better, a little bit more. And start respecting that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much technology, it's people that really make the product count. It does. And if you do invest in the people, I truly believe this, they give forth more of an effort, don't they? Yeah, I mean, if you show them that you respect them and care about them and give them the training that they need, don't people work a little bit harder for you instead of leaving right at their 8 hours? Don't they give you a little bit more? Yeah. Don't they? That's why it needs to be marketed, because people don't even realise it sometimes. And it's a big, 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 big value. It really is. Big value. Yes. Right. Now, is there anything, would you like to ask anything, or are you happy with how the podcast went? I hope you guys are happy with that.
No, we're very pleased.
I hope I answered your questions the way that you
did.
and I hope this was fun, and I really appreciate this opportunity, and thank you so much for thinking of me.
And I'm genuine. So, Mr. Kuhn, Lee, I think you've got an absolute star of a salesperson here, a very, very good representative of your company. Enjoyed it, and you're a real character, and that's what the business needs, whether it's men or women. They need positive, energetic, passionate people like yourself. You're an absolute star. And Theodore, I think you're also a very lucky man. So don't beat her every time at tennis, does he?
Yes, he does.
He does. Good. No, I'll take that back, Theodore. A win's a win, my friend. You keep doing it.
Hey, now, it's fair, right? Men,
fair.
Women, he's the best person playing.
That's it. You got to do it. It doesn't matter who they are.
That's right.
Now, as far as a book, and we said at the beginning, we come up with a title.
Yes, sir.
So the one I've got for you now is Best Looking Traveller, Overly Excitable, but a True Flyer.
Thank
you. So that's what we're going to put down. And it's been really, I say it again, absolute pleasure. You're a really, really good company, and this was really, really nice. And I'm so pleased to have met you. Good luck with everything you're doing, and enjoy the rest of the conference. And we'll definitely come over and see how simple the equipment is to use and operate.
I'll be happy to show you, Chris. Thank you
so much, Jennifer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.